When I heard air conditioning was sexist, I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe there were people out there that were that stupid. This is such a radical feminist first world problem that it honestly seemed like a parody of itself. So the article came and went, but the idea that office air conditioning is sexist apparently wasn't as stupid sounding to some people as it was to your average everyday person who has more to do with their lives than to find something to bitch about. Someone found it so true that they decided to interview the article's writer, Radhika Sangani. This is the result. Honestly, does this classify as real news?
There it was. There I was thinking it was just me.
No, there are actually lots of stupid people in the world
That had a problem, but it turns out it's the air conditioning that's sexist.
Turns out I have something other than myself to blame for my problems. Oh, and since I'm a woman, it's sexist.
I know. So many women in our office have the exact same problem.
What, being stupid?
You know, we just sit there absolutely freezing at our desks trying to type.
Alright, I have an idea. Put on a fucking jacket.
You can probably tell I've got a cold right now, which I blame all on the AC.
Does that in turn make your cold sexist by association?
And so it's just so actually quite nice to see this research. It's just such a relief to know that there's actually proof that this is happening, that women, you know, do feel the cold more than men.
Nature, you sexist bitch.
And that the AC in offices is normally regulated more for a male's temperature than a woman's.
Is it really?
And it's an explanation for these constant battles you'll see in offices right across the country between the sexes for control of that office thermostat.
I call bullshit. Where is this happening? What offices?
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, one of the biggest problems is that often in offices, it is men who control temperatures. You know, that's just something I've found anecdotally. And because majority of the men in offices seem to be absolutely fine with the temperatures, you know, women kind of just sit there on the corner feeling absolutely frozen.
Or, they could put on a jacket, turn the thermostat up, or lots of other things, then cry, sexism, sexism.
And, you know, often, like, actually, nothing's being done to help them.
Nothing's being done to help them? How disgusting. It's not as if you work in an office, indoors, at a nice job, while other people work and live in deplorable conditions. But oh no, I'm cold.
And, you know, it might sound like a bit of a silly, light-hearted issue.
Actually, it is silly, it is stupid, and it's not an issue.
But actually, it's really uncomfortable being freezing at your desk every day.
Oh, boo fucking who? What about people working out in the hot sun, or in a factory, while you sit uncomfortable in your office? This is such a stupid, first-world problem that it seems like you're trying to sound like an idiot.
Take it from me.
No, I know I experience the same, because what I've often found is you go in on a really hot summer's day, you're wearing summer clothes, you go into an office and it's absolutely freezing. I think even for some men it must be too cold. I don't understand why air conditioning is often so cold.
Because it's hot outside, and if you work in an office, there's computers and other equipment to keep cool, not just you. And why is it sexist exactly? So if the men need it to be comfortable, and as you said before, it's tailored toward men, why is that sexist? Just because it's tailored toward men, it's sexist?
So what you have to do is then take a jumper in with you and put that jumper on in order to be able to function.
Yeah, honestly, I think so many women listening now are going to just be nodding their heads thinking, yes, that is exactly my reality.
I would hope most of them would be nodding their heads saying, this woman is insane.
You know, we joke at work that we actually can't dress fashionably anymore for summer because you actually just can't go in sandals, you can't go in a summer dress because you're going to have to put on the jumper or the emergency cardigan. Or
change the temperature. There's not going to be some dude with his male privilege just hanging out of his pants waiting to stop you.
So yeah, it is quite frustrating, especially when you then go out on your lunch break or your commute home and you're absolutely boiling.
You mean just like all the people who work outside in the heat every day?
And I think there is a bit of a problem when it's warmer outside than it is inside your office.
What? That's kind of the purpose of air conditioning. It's not supposed to be the same inside as it is outside.
So what's the solution then? Because we can't have men overheating in the offices, can we?
No, I think we just need a bit more flexibility. You know, I think it is just essentially common sense.
It should be common sense. I also thought changing the temperature was common sense, but I'm a man, so what do I know?
So if, you know, an office is noticing that a number of women are complaining about the cold, they need to be more flexible. You know, they need to actually kind of lower it and not just say, but oh, the men are fine. You know, now there is actually proof that this is actually an issue.
My ass hurting from sitting in my chair too long is also an issue. Can there be an article and interview about that? So there was the intellectually stimulating interview with Miss Sangani. I'm glad that she opened all of our eyes to the rampant sexism of air conditioning. This is Josh from Hybrid Nerd, and I'll see you on the next video.